Well, Bill, I did go into Kiev at the invitation of President Zelensky. I met with his military team. I also met with relief workers working with Samaritan's Purse. And then all last week, Karen and I were in Iowa, traveling around to gatherings large and small, celebrating Independence Day. But everywhere I heard people reaffirming the belief that America is the leader of the free world. But Joe Biden has not been leading in the way the American people want him to lead. Frankly, he hasn't explained what our national interest is in Ukraine. He gives these gauzy speeches about democracy. But look, our interest there is to give the Ukrainian military the means to repel Russian aggression. This is a straight-up Russian invasion. This is not a territorial dispute. Vladimir Putin is not a genius. The American people know it's in our interest to give the Ukrainians what they need to stop them there. But Joe Biden's been slow on it. I mean, he just approved cluster munitions, which the Russians have been using for a year and a half against Ukrainian forces. But what I heard from President Zelensky is they're still waiting on the 33 Abrams tanks that were promised back in January, and they're still waiting for U.S. approval to transfer F-16s from one of our NATO allies. Bill, it's just Joe Biden, I think, has done a terrible job explaining our national interest. He's been slow in providing the support. I welcome the cluster munitions, but I saw and heard, and I visited the old front lines in a place called Moshe and Bucha, just north of Kiev. These Ukrainians have demonstrated their toughness. They can fight and win and repel the Russian invasion, but we got to do a better job getting them what they need.
Listen, I mean, there's no doubting what their motivation is in this war. And they've proven that time and again. But you can just look at the Wall Street Journal today. Why the Ukraine counteroffensive is such slow going. The Russians they have dug in for 15 miles. Yeah. That's a tough thing to crack.